Today we've got some rather interesting news. If you've never heard of Circle before, welcome to cryptocurrencies. We're talking about Circle acquiring Poloniex, which maybe some of you guys who are new have no idea what Poloniex is and have been only using Bitrex or Binance or Bitfinex, and that's fine because this exchange sucked. I made some videos about it in the past before, how I absolutely stopped using it since the summer of last year. And now it's been acquired for $400 million. My name is Michael Kubera. Let's get into this. Stay tuned. Alright, so since 2013, for those of you who aren't in the know, Circle has, well, this is a little interesting because Circle's changed its company perspective multiple times. Since 2013, they were working with Bitcoin directly, and I have a little list here because it was a startup that the company first pitched itself as a Bitcoin company that wants to make the cryptocurrency more accessible to everyone. Cool. And then it changed from that, which was in 2013 during the short boom, and 2014 on to 15, if you remember, Bitcoin suffered a little bit. That was a tough year. There was some smaller crashes in between here and there, but there was certain things going on. Also, Mt. Gox as well was before that. Circle called itself a social payment company, something like Venmo, trying to be a competitor towards PayPal and Google Wallet and I don't know what other ones there are. But the words Bitcoin and blockchain were absolutely gone from the company's website. And the most interesting thing was that the CEO, Jeremy Allaire, said this: "We never thought of ourselves as a Bitcoin startup. The media certainly classified us that way because we were involved with the technology. From the day we founded the company 3 years ago, we focused on trying to build a new consumer finance company, and one that makes money work the way the internet works." Very interesting, huh? But as of 2016, 2017, Circle has come full circle around again. Get it? And they purchased up Poloniex and started 3 additional programs that are involving cryptocurrencies but also fiat currencies. And from my perspective, it seems like they want to be an online bank that's also similar to PayPal, Venmo, but is involved heavily with Bitcoin cryptocurrencies. They want to acquire new exchanges, and they want to dip their hands in as many places as possible where money's flowing in and out. And depending on how the markets are, they're going to be either really towards blockchain technology, or they're going to be like, it's okay, we're involved with it, but it's not our main focus, depending on whatever the investors want to hear. But regardless, this company is dealing with billions of dollars. They're making a lot of money. They're making profit, and that's what matters to the investors at the end of the day. So I guess that kind of explains why the CEO is acting the way he is. So Circle acquired Poloniex for $400 million, and it was one of the worst exchanges out there. Now, the cool thing about Poloniex was that it was one of the first exchanges, and it's been out there for years, right? So Binance is rather new, and Bitfinex, and I don't know, Bithumb, and all these other exchanges, KuCoin, Blue Trade, and Bitrex. So Poloniex was there from the very beginning, and it was okay at first, right? Unlike some other exchange, Kraken, Poloniex was able to pay back users when there was a hacking, and they lowered the fees a little bit, and the fees were also helping to pay towards the people. They got their money. Of course, it was a couple months, some people without their money, but eventually Poloniex was able to establish a nice reputation until it all started scaling too quickly. And this was recent, 2016, 2017, where the scaling issues grew so bad that they slowly, you saw slight changes. Like the most important thing was losing the troll box. Oh no, what are we going to do without it? But they had trouble answering support tickets. Weeks and weeks some users were going without any response, or if they did get a response, they were waiting for a second response, and it was just dragging out, where some people had $100,000 locked up or even more. And as the number of these guys kept growing, some concerns were raised towards the platform. Me personally, I've been using it since, I don't know, February, April of last year, and I used it for 2 or 3 months before I decided, you know what, I'm quitting this platform, I'm moving on to something else because this sucks, right? I literally lost money when I tried selling my shares of Ripple and Ethereum for profit because I saw it, I decided, you know what, I made enough profit, let me sell it. Okay, my sell order is not going through. Let's refresh the page. I'm waiting. This is when the anxiety goes up. It's not really working. Oh gosh, what's happening? Let's refresh again. Okay, boom. Let me type in my order. Oh no. And then I had to do that 4 times. And after like 2-3 minutes, the price dropped by a couple percent. And I finally was able to sell. But it was glitchy, the servers weren't working, sometimes, orders were going through at different prices, there was a lot of users complaining, it was just going haywire, chaotic, they weren't able to handle the situation at hand, and I guess that's what brought them to eventually sell the company to Circle. I'm sure the founders were mega happy with hundreds of millions of dollars in their pocket. So that's that. I mean, if you use the platform, you're well aware of what the issues were. Circle used to be a platform where you were able to purchase Bitcoin up until, I think it was early last year, or maybe even 2016, when it stopped. That availability was no longer there, and it was just a normal website that was involved in investments and payments, which we were about to go through. But that was weird because I wanted to use Circle. I understand that at the time, instead of going through Coinbase, it could have easily done its thing, but hey, they decided, there's more money going into these ventures, which here, the first thing was the peer-to-peer payment service that was called Circle, had changed its name to Circle Pay. There's also Circle Trade, an over-the-counter trading desk for large cryptocurrency investors and exchanges. Large cryptocurrency investors, I'm guessing it's like accredited investors with the SEC and all that stuff. In other words, Circle Trade fosters liquidity between a handful of fiat currencies and cryptocurrencies. Circle Trade also powers Circle Pay behind the scene. According to Fortune magazine, Circle Trade manages $2 billion a month in transactions and generated $60 million in terms of revenue in just 3 months. The company now wants to expand beyond those 2 projects with Circle Invest, an easy-to-use application that will be using Poloniex as well in part of it, and it's going to be revolving around cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. This isn't the first time Circle has acquired a company or partnered up with some pretty big people, and they're slowly behind the scenes turning into one of the bigger players out there. But, if we look at all the exchanges, Bitrex and Binance are managing billions of dollars, and they're worth billions of dollars themselves. So there's quite a lot going on there. But even if we look at just Mt. Gox's sheer number of transactions and the number of Bitcoins that were lost, a million Bitcoins, but 200,000 Bitcoins were recovered. So 800,000 Bitcoins back in 2013, 2014, those were giant amounts. And it's only been growing like crazy ever since. So if 2018 is going to be just like 2017 or even better, then we're going to have a lot more people coming into the space, a lot more investors, a lot more exchanges. I mean, there's a new exchange popping up every single month, maybe even every single week. Now, most of those exchanges fail, but there are a couple that come out, beat out the rest. And the thing with exchanges is it's all about geography. So maybe, America's fine and China's fine, but there's other areas of the world like Latin America and Africa, certain parts of Europe, certain parts of Asia, maybe not Southeast Asia, but you got a lot going on, maybe something for the Middle East, right? And there's a lot of very smart individuals out there. They want to make some money, so hey, all the power to them. That's the update. What do you think about Circle? Have you ever used Circle to purchase Bitcoin? Remember those days? And if you have any Poloniex experience, let me know down below. Currently, I use Bitrex to sell off my Steam, maybe trade a little bit, but I have accounts with Bitrex, Binance, and Bitfinex because not all cryptocurrencies are in Bitrex. That kind of frustrated me a little bit, and I'm glad that I'm not using Poloniex. So, goodbye Poloniex, that's that. I mean, it's not the worst exchange ever out there. I found something, I think it was Hit Bitcoin, no. Yeah, maybe it was Hit Bitcoin that was even worse than, no, it was OKX. I'm sorry, Hit Bitcoin. It was OKX. And then there's TideX, and there's just thousands of these exchanges. And so far, I think I've used 15 different exchanges. There was also Cryptsy, but that fell. Cryptsy lost settlement. That's a completely different story. I never used Mt. Gox, thankfully. So my name is Mike or Kubera. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you didn't, leave a dislike. And other than that, we shall see you guys tomorrow. Bye.